Let's talk about some very interesting data now. Big bull Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's net worth now stands at a whopping 10,000 crores. Yes, that's right, 10,000 crores. And remember, this is only for listed stocks. One wonders what the net worth of his investments are in unlisted entities. Anyway, since we have the data with us for listed stocks, let's discuss that. Anuj has had a sneak peek into his top bets and what are the stocks that got him to this figure. Anuj, the street is always interested in what the big bull is buying, so take it away.
Yeah, I mean, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala's portfolio, of course, is public knowledge. All of these are stocks that are there. I mean, you can see it on the BSE shareholding pattern. So this is not something new that I'm doing. But what I'm highlighting today is that its market value, the portfolio's market value, listed portfolio's market value has hit 10,000 crores. That's a 12-digit sum, 11 zeros after one. That's the value of the portfolio as of now. And what really stands out is that three stocks account for more than half of it. And actually, these are the three stocks that have created wealth as well for Rakesh, which are Titan, of course, with almost 3,000 crores of market value, Lupin, about 1,200 crores, and CRISIL at about 860 crores. The next one actually is Tata Motors DVR. That's 610 crores. Then you have, other names like Aurobindo, NCC, Delta Corp, Escorts, Rallis, DHFL, Geometric, TV18, standard disclaimer, of course, owner of the channel that you're watching, Crore Vaishya Bank, MCX, and then, of course, some loose change for Rakesh, some with 50 to 150 crores, like Intellect, Edelweiss, First Source, Ion Exchange, Agrotech, VIP, Anantraj, you can go on and on, Viceroy Hotels, DB Realty, Orient. So all these stocks combined, today's value is 10,000 crores.
Okay, 10,000 crores. But Anuj, I mean, we report these numbers, but the gains have not come easy for him for sure. He's had to be patient with a lot of these stocks to give him these returns. So from the list of these companies, what's the biggest takeaway according to you?
I think three takeaways that I've had, looking at Rakesh's portfolio. First, as I said, three stocks account for more than half of his net worth. And these three stocks are actually the ones that have created wealth for him. Apart from that, if you look at most of the other stocks, you could argue that, the returns would have been in line with the market, or maybe some of them would have been below market. In some of the stocks, he would have lost a lot of value as well. But if you get your big bets right, you make a lot of money and you outperform market like anything. That's what's happened with the first three stocks. I think the lesson number two is patience. I think the best example of that is CRISIL, because Rakesh bought CRISIL and for 8 years the stock didn't do anything. For 8 years, it remained at where it was. In next 8 years, it became a 20-bagger. That's how, CRISIL stock moved. That's the value of patience. And I think the most important one, which from Indian retail point of view is the most important. In retail, we have the psyche of, booking your profit and letting your losses run so that, you can break even. It's actually the other way around. Letting your profit run is the biggest call. If you look at Titan, for example, which is, accounting for almost 30% of his overall net worth, Titan stock went from, say, 20 to 200. It became a 10-bagger. It would have been temptation to actually book it at 200. But then that 200 became 2,000. And, that became almost 4,000. So the first 10-bagger, yes, you're tempted to book profit, but it's the next 10-bagger after that in the same stock that is going to generate the wealth. The wealth part has been generated in Titan and Lupin. And that's the value of patience and letting your investments run. Once you get into a winner, letting them run. I think that's been the key takeaway for me as far as his portfolio is concerned.
Oh yes, as somebody famous once said, patience is not the ability to wait, but how you act while waiting. Thanks, Anuj. Very, very interesting data.